Hey everybody, I want to do a video for the men on this channel because generally there's not a whole lot of information out there for male survivors of narcissistic abuse. In general, society is far more sympathetic towards female survivors of abuse. Male survivors, not so much. You know, there's virtually no shelters. There's virtually no resources. When I was going through my ordeal, the detectives all but laughed at me. The police all but laughed at me. The response I got from one of the officers once was, "Come on, buddy, come on." So there's not a lot out there. And there was a story a few years ago that really hit hard. There was a guy that was found murdered and decapitated in his truck under a bridge here in Texas, where he had left his partner or spouse or something, and he didn't have anywhere to go, so he was sleeping in his truck under a bridge, and he got murdered, and they decapitated him because there was no shelters, there was no resources. And generally, as a guy, especially if you're in such a culture as Texas, there's nothing but ridicule, shaming, and guilt for coming forward. So I want to sort of give my story to you guys. My story is free of charge. Take my experiences and the information I give you, and see how well it aligns with your current situation, and hopefully some of this will help. So the first thing that you need to understand is that your position is difficult for the majority of the world to actually understand and empathize with. In as much as if you're a male survivor of sexual assault by a woman, that too is a very difficult situation for people to understand and empathize with. When I was 18, my virginity was taken against my consent in what I now understand was a sexual assault. But it really messed with me for about 6 or 8 years emotionally, and I just repressed it and pushed it out of my head, and I never dealt with it. I didn't even really recognize it or even remember it until my ordeal with recovering from my ex. So you're in a very difficult place where a lot of people don't understand. So the absolute first thing you need to do is find a community of men that do understand. And there are groups on Facebook. There's a good one called Male Survivors of Narcissistic Abuse. That is a really good resource. I was in the group for a long time. I think I'm no longer in it. I think I left, and I think it was because for a while I started to get so deep and so engrossed in the rabbit hole that is narcissism and started to affect my family life. And I think I pulled out of all the narcissism and disorder stuff. But that is an excellent place to start. Just having other guys that actually understand what it is you're going through is tremendous. For you ladies watching, or maybe you men who don't quite understand the value and importance of a community, look at Johnny Depp's situation with Amber Heard, right? She came out accusing him of domestic violence, and what she was like they made her a hero for, female survivors, and he was demonized, lost all his work, lost the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise. And then it later came out that she was actually the abusive one. I mean, she cut off part of his finger, and she literally took a dump on his bed and said it was a joke, right? At first she denied it, and then it came out later, and she's like, well, okay, maybe I did, but it was as a joke, right? Right? Because we all know remember that hilarious pillow shitting you gave me years ago? Yeah, no, that's not a thing. That's not a thing. It's just not. Getting around men that understand is critical. And it's absolutely critical for this one reason. If you're with a narcissistic female, then chances are good, like I said, they stack ammo from day one. Be prepared to have everybody believe that you're abusive. Same as Johnny Depp. Like, that is the card they play. It happened to me. It happens to nearly every man that ends up trapped with a narcissistic female. A narcissistic female can ruin a man's life permanently for the rest of his life just because she gets mad. That is, and women, you really need to understand this, that female narcissists are a whole, they are this form of evil that is unbelievable. I think most women do know this. There's a great quote from Married with Children. Al Bundy says, "Don't try to understand women. Women understand women, and they hate each other." And, you know, as funny as it is, some people are like, "Wait, no, we don't. I love my girlfriends and all this other stuff." Just understand. He's speaking about a specific kind of woman, and every woman knows that kind of woman, okay? And I'll put it to you like this. You're not in those women that women hate. You're not even in their crosshairs nearly as bad as some men are. So you have to just get some perspective. Think of the female that you hate more than anyone else, that was meaner more than anyone else, and then just realize that they kick it up a few more notches for the men in their life. So getting to a community that understands is really, really important, because then you have people who understand, and as you navigate the next chapter of your life, you have a community of people that will actually have useful input. Okay, because there's nothing worse than trying to navigate such a situation talking to people that don't understand it and don't get it. Okay, and that brings me to the next point. Just be prepared to be labeled the abuser. Be prepared to lose everybody. And if you haven't seen my video on how to handle a smear campaign, check it out. It's one of the more popular videos. It's old, so sort my videos by most popular, and it's in the top 10 somewhere. It's what to do about the smear campaign or something like that. I'm wearing a red shirt and I'm driving, so watch that. You need to understand that what's going to happen when you leave this woman. She is going to take 95% of the people out of your life. And that is a good thing, because the ones that she leaves are the reliable ones. Okay, anyone who is not 100% in your corner on things, the people who are unsure, the people who are easily swayed, easily deceived, the wishy-washy people, she's going to take all of those undependable, unreliable people out of your life. And that's a good thing, and you should welcome it, okay? She does it thinking that it's going to hurt you and crush you, and it does, because you're going to lose some people that you would have thought would have been in your corner and be like, damn, really? Really? Just like that. Just like that. You don't know me? I thought you knew me better than that. You're going to go through that, and it's okay. And as I say in the smear campaign video, what you have to do is you have to let them go, because you have to trust that they will eventually see through this woman's bullshit. They almost always do. Most everybody I lost in my divorce, I've reconnected with. I've received a lot of apologies over the years, or not even apologies, but just, hey, coming back in from the left kind of thing. They will eventually see through the bullshit. What you do not want to do, what you don't want to do, is to try to go on a PR campaign to fight for your social life. That is a mistake. You should not do that. It is better to find a community of men that understand. Like I said, get on Facebook, look for groups. Find men that understand. Let her remove all of the unreliable people out of your life. And then you look at who's left. Those are your boys. So you got to do that. Now, once you've handled all of that situation, you've got to move on. You need to get back up on the horse. right? Because there's nothing worse than being a man sitting at home, depressed, staring at the four corners. That's how things like alcoholism creep in. That's how substance abuse creeps in. Russell Brand has a genius expression that I want to share with you men. He says this. He says, addiction is really just a placeholder for interpersonal connection, right? So addiction, it's a placeholder for where there should be a relationship, right? It's a placeholder for relationships. You know, if you have you don't have a relationship with your father, and addiction takes that place. You don't have a good relationship with your mother, and addiction takes that place. You know, you lose a wife or a girlfriend or a best friend. That's where addiction comes in and takes its place, right? We've all been through a tremendous breakup, and what did you do? You went out, you got drunk, you got high, you know, you went gambling, you said, fuck it, you went on some kind of bender, right? Sometimes some of us go through a slut phase. That's also, you know, sex addiction. Sex addiction is always great, but sex addiction is something else entirely. And Russell Brand talks about how he had every kind of addiction, sex addiction, drug addiction, everything. And he sums it up like that. I realized that my addictions were placeholders for personal relationships. And once he realized that, he cultivated personal relationships, and he still has temptations, but he's got his addictions under control. So you have to recognize that. And so to get back up on the horse, if you're replacing your girlfriend or your partner, there's some truth to the saying, nothing gets you over the last one like the next one. Get back up on the horse. I had trouble getting back into dating. I was going on a lot of dates, and I wasn't even getting a good night kiss or a callback or no second dates. That happened for a month. I think I went on 5 or 6 dates in a row where it was just a first date, no kiss, barely even a hug, a pat on the shoulder and saying, I'm sure you'll find someone who's right for you. No, you're just not right for me. That kind of stuff. And I realized it's like, shit, man, it's got to be me. I got to be doing something wrong. And so here's my next piece of advice. Buy some books on pickup arts. Don't go overboard, okay? Because one of the things I learned in my experience, and that I'll share with you, is most books on pickup arts are derivatives of seduction science, or they're like a specific niche of seduction. And when it comes down to it, be careful. You want to make sure that you're always coming from a place of honesty and truth when you go out dating. You don't lie to women to get them in the bed. You don't pretend that you're something you're not. You just want to understand the human mating ritual, we call it. Okay? It's very easy. And what I realized was that I was making just very simple mistakes. I was doing too much and just trying too much and trying too hard. And that's apparently very unattractive to women. So I just stopped thinking about it and just learned to relax. And poof, I was a dater. So, but you need to read a couple of books on pickup arts just to sort of rehone your focus, because nothing is scarier than the proposition that after abuse, and this was what motivated me, I was very, very scared that I would meet the perfect woman, the woman who was right for me, someone that I knew that I wanted to be with, that I needed to be with, and that I wouldn't be able to get her, and that I would end up falling on my face and missing the opportunity to have a wonderful relationship with somebody moving forward. That motivated me, and I felt like maybe there was something wrong with me that needed fixing, and there was. There was a lot, and you know, I still have things about me that need fixing, but that's okay. The way I view relationships is that we're all kind of a little bit broken. When you're in a relationship with somebody else, it's your job as a partner to help hold each other's pieces together, and that's that. Nobody's ever perfect. We're all broken in some way, so let's just help each other hold our pieces together, and just have respect for each other, and respect the fact that some of us are just broken, and that's all right. So that's my view of relationships. That's how me and my wife see each other. I'm not perfect. She's not perfect. But, we're there for each other, and we help hold each other together. So I'm a little under the weather, so I'm starting to lose my voice. But yeah, those things are I think, there's so much more to getting over and getting past and healing from female narcissistic abuse. But I think those are the big ones. Get into a community of men that understand, because that's going to help you navigate the day-to-day, point-to-point details of your life. Let your friends go, because chances are, and I always tell people this, if you want a good indicator as to whether or not somebody is remotely reliable, step one should be, do you have their phone number memorized? That should be your entry-level criteria. If you don't have somebody's phone number memorized, then they're not the most reliable person to depend on. And then if you do have their phone number memorized, then you can look at further things to disqualify them from. But at a minimum, you should run with people whose phone numbers you have memorized. There's a reason you have them memorized. They're an important person in your life. So, yeah. Get into a good community. Let people go. Most of them will come back. Let them go for now. They will see through the bullshit, as long as you don't go running in all cavalier-like to distract them. And, then get back up on the horse. Put yourself out there. You deserve better. Believe me, and I'll leave you with this. There are so many good women out there. I was shocked and stunned when I started dating. Like, damn, how did I miss all these good women? Because I'd only known abusive women before all of this. So there's so many good women. Get you some books on pickup arts. Get your shit fixed a little bit. Learn how to be a good date. And yeah, go out, get out there, talk to women, meet some women, pick up some women. Be honest, be truthful. Tell them about your situation. And then let them make a choice as to what level of involvement they want to have with you. That's how it works. That's a good system. Don't be something you're not. Don't lie to women. And if you're not ready, you're not ready, and don't do it. So, but you should definitely get out there, because you will find a lot of good women are out there. So, certainly better than the one you're leaving. So, thank you very much for watching. Please like, comment, or share. I'll see y'all on the next video.